Don't forget to give us your name
Oh,
and
there you
speak
go.
directly into the microphone.
You don't remember me then? I've been here so many Mondays and you don't know my name by now? I feel a little hurt. I'm just kidding. Well, I'm Ellie. I'm the school board representative, and I'm gonna talk to you about what's going on in Minico High School, I guess. So we had the winter carnival. I don't know if I talked to you guys about it. However, it was a really good success. I was really happy about it. We sold some tickets for basketball tournaments. We also had games, food. For the students that didn't want to participate on those, we had study hall and movies. Um, there were so many different activities. Luckily for us, we got to help 56 people. So, like around 22 families. It was really good for this year. Um, I'm moving on with the sports. You know, I'm a fan of basketball now. So for the basketball girls, they're doing so good. They're playing so good. Uh, for the boys, I mean, they're cute, so it doesn't really matter how they play, right? Yes.
Okay, we have a cute basketball team. How does that sound?
Really good, though. Really good. So for our wrestling, also, we're gonna have the Red Halverson. This is in January. Also, it's a big tournament for wrestling. I didn't know this existed until like literally 7th hour today. I think it's really cool. We also have the bowling team who won Eastern Invite. It's a tournament too, and they won, which I think it's really awesome. Um, we also had the tryouts for our musical this year. They're gonna be playing Freaky Friday. I bet it's gonna be good. Also, we're gonna have next month Sweethearts. If you want to take your partner to the dance, that'll be so awesome too. Uh, Also, we had a lockdown like a couple of weeks ago or a week ago. I would like to appreciate and give thanks to our local enforcements who keep us safe during the lockdown. Yes, it was a little hard. We were not expecting that. Me personally, I thought that just happened like in big cities, like Texas and stuff. And when it happened here, I was like, okay, what's going on? But well, we had a local enforcement who really helped us and kept us safe. And that's all I have for you guys. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for Ellie?
Well, I do, if you know it. So
Mary,
you did the winter carnival.
Mary, you're
Okay, so you did the winter carnival instead of doing the gift of green,
Yes.
correct? Do you feel like it went as well as the gift of green or better?
Uh, it's still okay. So, in my personal opinion, I feel it went way better than the last years I have been there. We got so much money from it, which was awesome. We got to help so many more people that we did last year. Uh, I don't know, like maybe this is my last year, but I would like to like create this as a new, tradition instead of doing the assembly. I think it was way better.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you.
great. Thank you. And Mount Harrison.
Hi, I'm Shasta Denton, and I
I
am
apologize. Mount Harrison High School for their student representative report. We'll get to the others. Sorry about the confusion.
I'm Shasta Denton, and I am a senior at Mount Harrison. And some things that we have been doing at Mount Harrison for Student Council, we did a pet drive last quarter. Emily and Kelly's won prizes that were funded by Miss Thompson. We did an ugly sweater competition. One of our teachers, and her name is Miss Pelayo, and Marcus and JC, they won prizes for our ugly sweater competition, and we did a Valentine's dance, or we're doing a Valentine's dance. We've still been doing credit recovery, so if there's Minico kids who need to do credit recovery, get on that because the year's almost over. And our um, student showcase is February 2nd, I think. It's sometime in February. No, I looked it up and it says that it's on the 2nd, or it's in February, yep. But yeah, I'm gonna give the mic to Erica.
Okay, for our BPA club at Mount Harrison, me and another student qualified for state. We placed second and third. So we're going to state in Boise on the 22nd and the 25th of February. What also happened is that we had 8 students in December graduate this quarter. Well, last quarter, sorry. And we have a lot more new students. And we are planning on having our STAR testing maybe around sometime in February 9th or the 10th. And then also our spring ISATs is coming up too. And also for Miss Thompson and Miss Grant, they are taking a little trip to the Little Rock, Arkansas for the National Japanese American Historical Society in March. And that is all we have for you today.
Minidoka Junior High, if you'd like to come.
We are so excited to share our good news.
Can we have you guys maybe stand over here so that we can see you all rather than having you in a straight line? Just kind of be, that would be awesome. You guys can come like right
Yeah,
over
come
here.
right over
Yeah, we
here.
worried that you wouldn't be able to see us with the TV. Right here.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. So how many of your students are here and how many do you have all together?
Good evening. We have 36 students, and standing before you are 11 student representatives. For our good news, Minidoka Junior High has chosen to share. Each of these students is going to share a benefit of alternative education in their experience. So they'll introduce themselves and share a benefit of alternative education. We'll start with Victor.
Okay, I just request that you speak clearly. This is still being recorded and it's a little hard sometimes to hear, so don't rush, okay?
Hello, my name is Victor Santos. I've been going here at Minidoka Junior High for over 3 years and have found that this school is filled with enrichment from the teachers helping students more due to there being less students than other schools, and also finding new hobbies here such as 3D printing, laser printing, uh, science dissections, and computer buildings. And that is what I like about alternative learning here.
Um, Hi, my name is Ryan Spalding, and I like alternative education because I have more time with my teachers, and I always set a goal of getting all my signatures. A signature is what you earn for completing a an assigned project, like the day it's assigned, and I do this all week. So this has helped me pass all my classes and be successful in school.
Hi, I'm Jacob Olivas. There's two things I really like about this school. The first thing is that I like about this school is the attendance and how I'm not getting suspended anymore. And the second thing is the one-to-one support with the teachers and how they help you learn.
Hi, I'm Jada Juarez. I like this school because it is more of a structured environment, and structure means safety to me. When I'm safe, I feel that I can complete my work faster and easier.
Hi, my name is Anaí Diaz. I have social anxiety, so this setting has helped me through a lot. That's why I'm here today. I appreciate the teachers a lot. I have confidence. They made me have confidence every single time I go up to them, and I can ask them for help. And I appreciate Mrs. Blood and the staff a lot. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jason Rodriguez, and this school helped me a lot because of the homework, and we didn't have to stress about having to do it at home, and it's helped us with the teachers.
Hi, I'm Sandra Ochoa, and a way that this school has helped me is with our school-wide expectations. When everyone else is feeling safe, kind, and responsible, it helps me feel safe, kind, and responsible too. And being responsible helps build a good work ethic. So, thank you, Minidoka Junior High.
Hello, school board. My name is Jordan Kilo Briss, and what I'm saying is friendships. Since the school is small enough, it's easier to make friends, and it helps you trust them more, and they're here to support you and help you with your work so you could get some better grades.
Hi, my name is Matthew Feige, and the school has helped me with my work by us going to different teachers during self-directed. And self-directed is when we get is a time where we get to go to different teachers to get help on stuff that we have not gotten done yet.
Hi, my name is Mason, and I like to thank for the mentoring, how they're able to be able to communicate with them that we may not be able to share with our parents, and that they care for me and that I can care for them. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Aurora. I like about this school is it's smaller. There's more help, and the learning is more individual and at my level.
Thank you, students. Do you have any questions for any of these students?
First of all, I want to say congratulations on being willing to stand up here and talk to us, because I know that we're a very imposing group. And I'm proud of for each of you to be able to do this. I think it's wonderful that you're willing to share, and I think you all did a great job.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you. If they would come around, we will do the handshake thing. Yeah, me too.
Special thanks to our parents and staff who have supported us all the time and that you're here tonight with your student.
Thank you, madam.
I could.
Okay. All right. We'll continue on with our meeting then. And I just again want to say thank you for everyone who came tonight and supported the students that presented for us tonight. We have one patron comment, and as it comes from, is Robert here or just you? Okay. Jenny Bateman, do you want to come? Says you are providing an invitation to meet with not hanging in there. They're all blinking out. I don't know. Anyway, invitation to meet with constituents and participate in a panel discussion. Okay.
First of all, I just want to thank all of you for running for political office and serving on this board. We appreciate all the work that's performed in governing the district. And my name is Jenny Bateman, as Mrs. Hines said, and I help with the community group. It's called United We Stand Idaho, and it focuses on educating and informing citizens and elected officials and helping them to understand the structures of government and to work together in our community. For the community meeting in February, the focus is on school government, and we are inviting all school board members to join a panel discussion on the topic of creating policy, just discussing what the procedure is of how the school board adopts or reviews policy, and also the policy or the procedure that you follow for adopting curriculum, and then just a small discussion about what your role is as the liaison between the district and the community members. After the discussion, there will be time to meet with constituents and members of the community. The vision is kind of like a back to school night where you would go meet your child's teacher. And this is for parents or employers or any community member to just come and meet their school board member a lot, as you would do with a teacher at a back to school night. This meeting is scheduled for February 7th at 7 p.m. at the Best Western Convention Center. And we do know and we kindly request that the notice be posted according to the open meeting laws in the same manner or a similar way as those posted when board members attend like ISBA meetings, administrator luncheons, those kind of other events that you do out in the community, or graduation, because we do understand that you have those rules that you do need to follow. Are there any questions that I can answer now, or I can leave some contact information if something arises?
Yeah, because it's just keep coming in and going out. Okay. I read an email that you all sent to people about it, and one of the things that you quoted in there was that this is a corporate body and a body politic, and you called us politicians. We do not make rules or laws for a country or a municipality. None of us view ourselves as politicians. We might be elected by people, but I don't think that that's the correct word to use for that. That's my opinion. I'm also a little bit concerned about, yes, you know that it's a meeting, but if it's there, whatever we say has to be recorded and minutes taken.
Are those same minutes and recordings done at ISBA meetings?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. Say it again.
Are those same procedures followed at ISBA meetings?
They're recorded, yes, and there are minutes and things like that, yes.
Okay, and at graduation?
We don't talk at graduation, and we don't vote on anything.
Right, this is not going to be any business conducted. It's just explaining to the public the policies or procedures in adopting curriculum.
Well, I guess the other thing that bothers me is that this invitation was sent out before I knew about it, as if you're just planning on us being there.
Well, we did think that you would want to meet with the public, and there was a miscommunication in contacting all the school board members, because I do know that there were school board members who were contacted beforehand so that you would know, and I apologize that one fell through the cracks.
Until my husband had me read this, and I thought, what?
And there was nothing that said that you were a politician in that email, and if you do read it closely, it is a direct quote of Idaho Code.
Right, but it says body politic. That does not make us a politician. That just means a body of elected officials.
Right, it means that you are running, that you hold a political office. That it was a quote. There was nothing in there that said that you were a politician.
Office.
It says in Idaho Code that it's a political office. I'm not trying to be argumentative. I'm just saying that's what Idaho Code says.
I'm sorry, but I have a disparate opinion, and that's what I'm expressing right now is my opinion, okay? I feel that You are putting something on this that we don't have. So that's all I'm saying right now. And I think I'm going to quit with that while I'm still ahead or not ahead. Does anybody else have any questions? Yeah, we don't have an answer. I don't know if anybody else is going to be there. Sir. Right.
I teach class that night, so I won't be there.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll discuss it and see.
Thank you. And just once again, I just wanted to thank you for participating in school government as an elected official. Thank you.
Mrs. Bingham, under discussion items, you are letter A. And I read through the challenge that you included in our board book, and it's very interesting. And I don't know how we're going to solve it just yet.
Yeah, that's okay because I'm just bringing it to you. I don't know how to solve it either, and that's why it's if we had rooms at schools, we could meet as an elementary admin team and with Mr. Ramsey, and we could figure that out. But from what I see, there's not a good solution, and so basically this informs the board. And if you have any questions specifically tonight, I'd be happy to address them. Or if you want to talk later about them, I would be happy to also then. Just whatever, but that's the challenge we're facing right now. Okay. No, I don't. That's why I'm here. Right. Yes, but we can certainly talk later. Anyway, it's challenging, and I know it's challenging. I know you have other challenges. It's part of that. Not enough room. Anyway, okay. Thank you.
In some ways, being out of the room is a good thing. In some ways, it's also a very bad thing. Because we do want to be educating our students and every one of them the best the way that we can. Did anyone have any comments or questions for Mrs. Bingham?
There was the section there that says Sequa and Hayburn Elementary are the only schools that have adequate bathrooms for significantly disabled. What needs to be done to bring other schools up to code in those areas? Do we know?
Well, this district's worked really hard in recent years to bring schools up to code. We added lifts to both East Minico and West Minico because those weren't available. There are, I would assume, I haven't been in, really the restrooms so much at Rupert Elementary and at Paul Elementary, but I'm assuming that they do have facilities for adults and students with disabilities. But when you have the low incidence disabilities, which are children with severe disabilities, it takes more than just accessibility. It also, you need to include a changing table and just more items. But like I say, I would imagine that we already have accessibility in all schools, but in order to house students with severe disabilities, we need more than just accessible.
Mr. Ramsey, what would it take to look into what it would cost to bring the other two elementary schools in line with?
We would have to do an inventory at each site, and then I'd have Mr. Van Avery put up. I apologize. Test.
There you go.
As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, I would assess all schools to get them to be ADA compliant for, would we call that severe need?
Well, I would assume, I mean, let's see, Ellen's not here, but you would have accessible restrooms at Rupert Elementary, don't you? I mean, for yeah, accessible, but not. So you have two different things going on. We're ADA compliant. I would assume, at all our schools with our restrooms. But a student with a low incidence disability, maybe that's a student in a wheelchair with, we've got to lift that child out of a wheelchair, lay on a changing table to change a diaper.
Right.
That isn't available at all schools. That's the difference. So we're following the law.
Sure.
The ADA and accessibility, we just don't have our, go ahead.
Sorry. I would ask Miss Bingham to just tell me what she needs at each school to bring us within compliance.
I think that's something that seems
it's
to
a
me a little
changing
more
table,
fixable.
be
Like
something that we
finding
can
more
work
room might be hard, but it seems like we could maybe do that, couldn't we?
Only,
Oh,
well,
Right, and
not
that's
only,
Just the bathroom isn't the problem.
right.
Right.
We need a shower.
I have a place for the children to be bathroomed. I don't have a place for them to be taught.
Gotcha.
Where am I going to put these 7 kids who in a separate classroom? I have a bathroom. I don't have anywhere for them to listen.
In the bathroom.
Listen,
No.
We're almost stacking them in there.
I know. But we also have another problem, and I'm just going to bring this up. We have needed kids, that we need accessible showers for these kids, because we have some that are being bathed in a tub because they're not being bathed at home. I mean, we have some problems. We do have some problems.
I appreciate you answering that, though. I was just curious. Thank you for answering that. I was just curious what it would take to get the other schools there, but I understand the concern still is the classroom, and I get that. That's a harder problem.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Why you have that child. Well, granted, the will. We're not sure.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Bingham. Administrator, department, and committee reports are next. Did anybody have any comments or questions on anything you read there? No?
Are you going to report on West Minico?
Okay.
Mrs. Hines?
Yes.
So for a moment, I just wanted to just say something about the dyslexia plan, which is underneath this.
Yes.
So this is just from a personal standpoint. I was a student, obviously, at one point in time in my life, and I went through all of elementary school and junior high before I got into high school, not ever knowing that I had dyslexia. I went through the entire thing, and I was at one point labeled as a student who just wouldn't be successful. I was labeled as not being smart or not working hard, whatever it may be. There's just a bunch of labels that came with it. And it took a resource teacher. I got put into a resource class who took time to figure out that there was something else there. So from a personal standpoint, I'm extremely grateful that the state and that our district is getting aligned with that we are trying to find ways to identify and help these students out. Because once it was identified that I had an issue, I went from having D's to having, B's and A's, and I was able to go on and go to college and have a successful career. And it was because one teacher took the time to figure out that there was something else that was going on, that I wasn't a bad kid, that I wasn't lazy, but that there was something going on there. And so I'm grateful that we're putting time and energy and resources to this. And I, for one, am all to putting as many resources as we can possibly do to helping out these kids, because there's other kids like me that are out there that are willing to do the work if they just have the proper resources to help them through the difficulty. So.
Well, not yet, and we need more teachers that
We do.
are educated in that. I have actually I had a son, and they didn't catch it till he was in college.
Yeah.
And by then it's kind of late. And his daughter now has it, which they caught it in 2nd grade. She is now in 3rd grade. But as long as we have teachers that are educated and that they can come out and help these kids to go that way. So,
Okay. Thank you for sharing. As we continue to try and make our education better and hit everything that the young people need that we can come up with. Mr. Ramsey, did you have any comments or anything about your superintendent report? Does anyone have questions for him? Go right ahead.
January 13th is a fib. I did not go to Minico's staff meeting. I met your fire suppression system inspector, and we went to 8 schools and inspected your vents over your cooking. They has to be done every 6 months. Good times.
Only you would think that was fun. Okay. Uh, each of us has to sign a code of conduct that is part of our policies. It's policy 140.00. I'm not going to read it because I think we all can read ourselves. And yet, this is something that we review and that we do have commitments that we need to make and stick with, as well as goals. They want us to, we need to each have goals. Mine right now is to get into the school some more than I have been, and do the best that I can in this position as a board member. We are required every year to sign this. So I'm going to pass it down the table for everybody to sign so that we can say we did it and it's in the record. And if y'all send it that way, since that's the action that we need to take on that tonight. If you don't agree with it, you better tell us now. It's a little late. Okay, Mr. Ramsey, at this point, this is where you dissolve the board.
At this time, I will absolve or dissolve the board. And at this point, I am to ask for a nomination for a board chair.
I nominate Bonnie Hines, board chair.
Mr. Cotton, I ask for any other nominations? Or do they vote by acclamation? We say nominations cease. Any other nominations? Seeing no other nominations, I call for a roll call for nomination of Ms. Hines for board chair. I'll say aye.
Aye.
Ms. Wedmeyer, they all approve Ms. Hines as board chairperson.
Great. Okay, vice chair. I would entertain motions for the vice chair. Okay, motion by Mrs. Anderson for Russ Sucan, second by Juan Perez. Any other nominations? Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? You're hanging in there with me, Russ. Yeah, I know. We also have to vote on a board clerk, and at this point, I would entertain a motion for Carrie Tibbetts as our board to continue as our board clerk.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Sucan and second by Mr. Parker. Okay, nomination of Carrie Tibbetts. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And for treasurer, we need to nominate and vote on a treasurer then. Okay, Dr. Parker for treasurer. Any other comments or questions regarding that? I guess the question is, are you willing to take this position?
I am. I have a list of what I'm supposed to do.
We will get you one. Okay. So motion by Mrs. Anderson, second by Mr. Perez, right? Okay. Okay, perfect. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. He accepted it, but he does want a specific list of things, so we're working on that, right? We had a board meeting in January of 2022 that laid out all of our meetings for the year, and in our board book we have the meetings for this coming year as well, and we need to Yeah, it should be 23 to 24. It is a typo. Just a couple things I want to mention about this. Sorry, it's taking me a minute. Okay. As usual, the third Monday is our preferred day to meet. However, again, in February this year, it falls on President's Day, and so that one will be moved to the 27th. And in March, the third Monday is right through in the beginning of spring break, so that one is moved to the 27th of March. The only other thing is a possible board training. We try and do that on the fifth Monday of the month, usually after school starts. So that is also included on here, and that's why it's asterisk. It's a maybe. Okay. This says 22 to 23. We need to have January 23 to January 24. So I would entertain a motion for approval of the board meeting
Mrs. Hines.
times.
Sorry, before we approve, I was just wondering, do we need to have ISBA listed on this as well, or no?
We usually don't, just
Okay.
because that's something that we don't know who's going to go or if anybody's going to go.
Okay.
So
And when that
When
is
Miss
decided.
Tibbetts gets it figured out, then she posts it
Yeah.
on the website.
We know approximately when it's going to be, but I know they changed it from where it had been, so it's a little confused. It was confusing to me. It was earlier.
Perfect. Well, then with that clarification, I would move that we would accept the board meeting dates for 2023 through 24.
Okay. Second. Motion by Mr. Perez, second by Mrs. Anderson. Does anyone have any other comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have board meeting dates. We also need to approve the emergency closure that we had to have the last day of the semester before Christmas because we had too many sick bus drivers. Couldn't get students to school.
Total of 9.
Oh, it ended up being 9?
9 drivers short to run all our routes.
Madam Chair, I move we approve the emergency closure.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Sukan to approve the emergency closure, and second by Mr. Parker. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We can let the state know the why. Did anyone have any, reading through the policies, did anybody have any comments or questions on any of them? And Miss Tibbetts isn't here to ask, but I don't think that there were any. Did she mention anything about public comments on any of these? She did not. Okay. Okay, you haven't either. Okay. There is on policy number 3, policy 242.10, curricular materials. This is a first reading. We will definitely hold this for second readings. Are you okay? Oh. It's not being broadcast? Okay.
I'm watching.
Carrie was going to try and watch it from home.
I'm watching it. I see 10 viewers now.
Oh, okay.
And she just sent me.
Our ratings are real good.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask her, so I didn't.
Yeah, I was.
Monday Night Football school board meeting.
Yeah, Monday Night Football, right. Would you say the Cowboys are playing tonight?
Madam Chair,
Sir.
on the policy regarding curriculum materials, doesn't that just reflect the changes in Idaho code? That's all it reflects, right?
Yes,
I
it
didn't see
is.
any reason to hold it over.
unless, well, it's not listed as one that we could pass this time, but if you feel that it's meeting what the law states, the code, then it's up to you. We can pass it if that would be your thoughts. And
I read it and it sounded just like what they were told us it was going to be changed to. So
okay. Does anybody have questions for Dr. Parker about the changes that we were informed of that were coming? Okay.
Mr. Johnson, isn't that right?
Yep, I pulled up Idaho code and compared it.
Yeah.
So and it is really close from what I remember reading. Okay. Okay, then we can do, I think it needs to be two motions, one for acceptance of the policies and then the one of the deletion. That needs to be separate, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Number two. Yeah. So much of that is covered in different places. So I would entertain a motion for, or before I go any further, any questions? Other questions? Okay. I would entertain a motion for acceptance of policy 226.00, Idaho Digital Learning Academy classes, policy 242.00, responsibility for, sorry, didn't mean that one. Scratch that. Policy 242.10, curricular materials, policy 250.20, library materials, policy 250.30, library material selection, and also 250.30, procedures, policy 267.00, extended learning opportunities, one's a third reading, policy 390.20, student discipline regarding suspension, and policy 748.00, public gifts, donations to schools. Most of these, they just had small little things changed in them, really, so that's why we can go ahead with this. Is anyone willing to make that motion at this time?
Madam Chair, I'll make the motion.
Okay, motion by Mr. Sukan.
Second.
Second by Mr. Parker. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Means motion carries. And then policy 242.00, responsibility for selection of textbooks. This one is before us for deletion because there's a lot of things that are in other policies and so much of this doesn't, it's just changed. We don't need this one. Any other things that you have to say about it, Mrs. Woodmeyer?
It just combines several other policies.
Okay. All right. So I'd entertain a motion for the deletion of policy 242.00.
I'll make that.
Nope. Motion by Mrs. Anderson.
I'll second it.
Okay, second by Mr. Parker. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Sorry, Ms. Hines, is there another place that people can look to see where this information is covered in other policies? Is there something that we can have where people can see that?
So I agree with that one. Like I can show you my notes the one that we're deleting, everything is in the other policy. So I can show you.
So what policy then is the other stuff in?
I'm just pulling up, trying to find my email that I sent.
Probably so we can just let the public know.
I was just going to say, maybe if we could put in the minutes that we're deleting this policy because the information's available in whatever policy, I think it would be helpful.
It's overlapping. Maybe that would be a better motion.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah.
I can share our policy review packet because I included the original policy in that along with the new policy.
If we could have that in the minutes, I think that would be preferable as we're looking to approve the deletion of this.
Okay. I like that idea. Thank you, Mr. Perez. We were voting on it. Did we all get a yes?
With that stipulation, I would say I would vote yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all, everything in the policy is being deleted and the new policy here.
Okay.
Okay.
The new policy just has more in it.
More than the
And
new
they
one.
were titled, the titles, I don't know what happened, the titles are all, about 3 curriculum policies are all off.
Okay. Yeah. So with that note to it, I would approve.
Okay. Do we need to amend the motion?
Probably.
Okay, Mrs. Anderson, would you withdraw your motion and restate it, please?
I would like to make the motion that we accept the deletion of 242.00 with a replacement notation of the update, which is 242.1.1.
Okay.
0.
Okay.
I would second that.
Okay. Motion by Mrs. Yeah, they did. Motion by Mrs. Anderson, second by Mr. Perez. Any further comments? The policy below it really does most of it. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Right.
Yep, there it is.
Got
So, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Did we get that okay? Reed, was that okay that we came through that way? All right.
Ish. Thank you. Okay. With that, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I move that we adjourn. Second.
Motion by Mr. Parker, second by Mr. Sukan. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.